Today I want to share my first impressions on the action battle royale that I've been obsessing over the past few days called Naraka Bladepoint. Now I actually had never heard of Naraka until about last week when I bought it, and for someone who's played most of the battle royales that are out there, and like 90% of them being shooter games, a martial arts BR with swords and crossbows just seems like a super fresh concept to me. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing because I'll be playing a lot more Naraka Bladepoint live on this channel, and I'll be making a lot more videos on it too, so enjoy. So one of the first things I noticed about Naraka is that the game only has 8 total characters at the moment, and this originally came as a shocker for me because I was expecting a lot more, but then I remembered that the game just came out a couple of months ago, and if you compare it to Apex Legends for example, Apex released with 8 total characters as well, so the two games are not too far apart. So each hero comes with a different tactical and a different ultimate ability, and there's currently 13 weapons to choose from, so there's a lot of room to fit different playstyles for different players. And to add to this, the game also lets you customize your character's appearance, so you can end up with either a unique and personalized avatar that accurately represents you, or you can end up with some really funny looking builds too. Once I got into my first game, I noticed that there's only a couple of points of interest marked down on the map, and I thought this was going to bother me at first, but it ended up being fine because there's plenty of places across the map for you to get proper gear and get into some fights. It's just that those areas that are marked on the map are the hotspots where you're most likely going to find better loot a lot easier, and you're going to get into some fights right away if the area is marked as one of the spawn points to choose from. So there's no battle bus and no dropping into the map mechanic. What happens is that you teleport to the spawn point you choose, so you get to see if a certain area is going to be packed with players beforehand because you get to see where people are going. One thing I should mention is that I didn't see any gameplay videos or watch any streamers play Naraka before I actually got it myself, so my first impression with the movement was pretty underwhelming. Because at first the game seemed kind of slow to be honest, and it reminded me of the Monster Hunter series with the movement and attack styles. The grappling mechanics seemed fine for reaching high places or escaping, but nothing too impressive at first, you know? But after I watched some of the videos I realized I was 100% wrong. So there's actually a lot of fast-paced movement tech in the game, and knowing how to move in Naraka is very important for fights because they can be over in 2 seconds if you don't know how to deal with the enemy's movement options, or if you don't know how to disengage from a fight, so practicing your movement until you're comfortable with it is a very important skill you should consider picking up early on in Naraka. Now let's take a moment to talk about the combat systems in Naraka Bladepoint, because in the tutorial you learn about the combat triangle. Normal attacks get beaten by focus attacks get beaten by counters, and counters lose to normal attacks. But in the first couple of matches you get against bots, the game feels more like a hack and slash, and you're most likely just gonna be click spamming all the time like how I was, because of how easy the bots are, but that doesn't line up very well versus when you go against actual opponents, because the combat system versus actual players turns into somewhat of a mental chess game where you're predicting your opponent's movement options and you're using things like focus cancelling, crouch cancelling, tech chasing, and a lot more. So the combat is a lot more intricate than what you originally think, and once you finish the tutorial in the first few bot matches, you quickly learn that spam clicking is not going to get you very far in Naraka. I mean, unless you're playing trios, because I've only played a few trio matches so far, and there's a lot of confusion half the time with random swords swinging around, but that's a whole nother level of what the actual hell is going on here. So a couple of things I like about Naraka that I don't see in too many other battle royales is that even if the game is headed into that competitive esports environment with the tournaments that the game is hosting and the rank system being the default game mode, there's a lot of room for different playstyles and running different builds even if you're playing the same character. Because there's glyphs in the game you can equip for boosting different stats or enhancing abilities, you can unlock different variations of your tactical and your ultimate abilities for your characters, and there's a sort of skill tree that you can fill up to allocate points on certain stat bonuses. So seeing how you can experiment with different character builds and different weapon builds to find what fits your playstyle best is really refreshing to see on a competitive oriented battle royale. So I've been playing Naraka Bladepoint basically non-stop since I bought it, and I've been struggling not to play just so I can make this video. So if you want to try Naraka Bladepoint for yourself, you can currently get it on Steam for about 20 bucks, and I think it's coming on Epic Games too if I'm not mistaken. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll definitely be making more Naraka videos, so I appreciate you guys for watching this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.